So on the 2nd of July, Google Assistant, which I did not opt into, bothers me on my phone to tell me Tom Holland is open to playing the gay Spider-Man. And I thought to myself, whoop-de-friggin-do, like I care. Great, now we gotta make Spider-Man gay. What the hell is next? Honest to God, I looked at it and I just turned my nose up as a longtime Spider-Man fan.
The rotted skunk is over there just twisted in the corner. Ugh.
I was just like, no, I'm sick of this. Tom Holland is open to the gay Spider-Man and agrees that the MCU needs more than just straight white guys. Listen, Tommy boy, how about you fuck off? How about that? Go somewhere. How is he Spider-Man? He's British, for God's sakes. If anyone should be playing Spider-Man, or at least voicing him, it should be me. A real New Yorker, for God's sakes. Oh, no. Let's give more British actors roles playing English people.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You don't see England tapping my talents to pretend to be British, though I'd love to do it.
Oh, today me and Mopsy had some delicious tea and biscuits. It was cleansing to the palate.
Oh, I'm good at this. I'm good. I could do like National Geographic videos. Note to self, do a parody National Geographic video. But anyway, more than straight white guys. Like, why would he even bother saying this and upsetting most of the fan base? Which, I don't care. I'm a longtime Spider-Man fan, but I do find this pandering kind of annoying at this point. Promise that LGBTQ characters are coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why don't we, I don't know, shine a light on characters that are already gay? Because we've done this before with Iceman, where randomly Iceman turns gay, and Iceman was the biggest pussy hound in Marvel, in my opinion. Like, Iceman and Gambit were the two dudes who stayed picking up chicks in the X-Men lore. And all of a sudden, one day I wake up and Iceman's gay. It threw me for a loop. It was hard enough recovering after Rob Halford came out of the closet. But I need to quit fucking around because this video has a more serious tone. Simply because when this came out, I'm not even going to bother reading all of this. What? Maybe I will. The Marvel Cinematic Universe needs to start getting more inclusive on the LGBTQ front as soon as possible. Yeah, how about you guys focus on making movies that stick closer to the source material? Have you seen One Punch Man, the anime? It sticks to the source material. The show's amazing. Marvel MCU, I can't stand it. Every time I turn around, they got so much shit out of place it don't make sense. The timeline's all screwed up. Captain America doesn't die after the Civil War? What? Falcon becomes Captain America before Bucky? What? Oh God, there he goes again, talking about his knowledge of comic books. This is why Marvel can't sell comic books anymore. How many times do these comic book industry people have to employ someone like Zoe Quinn to work at Vertigo? Then Vertigo goes belly up and nobody can figure out the problem. How do you give a chick who got 80 grand to make a video game, oh, let's have her do a comic book. She's got ideas. She can't even finish the one she came up with. You know what? Forget this Holland story. I'm going to fly off the handle. This news got put all over the internet. Everybody praised it, on progressive Twitter, where logic comes to die. Everyone acted like this was so heroic and cool and blah, blah, blah. It got a lot of press. Here's what didn't get any press. Disney bans a grieving father from having Spider-Man on his son's grave.
Incidentally, you guys have ruined us. We've decided to give up comics and we're going into showbiz.
This is what we're dealing with. I read it and I became vehemently upset. This is not what Stan Lee would have wanted, for God's sakes. You bloodthirsty little shits waited till poor Stan Lee died to turn some of the greatest characters in Western mythology into this crap. I remember, where's the other article? There's another article, I can't even find it right now, where it said, oh, they wanted to preserve the character's innocence. What about the innocence of a child? For God's sakes, the only thing getting a kid through all this therapy, all the surgeries and whatnot, was the idea of Spider-Man. One of the best characters ever made when I was a kid. And still to this day, Spider-Man's the only one I can relate to. And then they just do something like this, and it makes you realize, as a man, that everything you ever loved, looked up to, or admired, if a corporation gets its hands on it, they will rip the very soul from its bones and prop it up like a scarecrow. And instead of collecting crows or scaring them off, it sucks in money. A grieving father's been denied permission to put a picture of Spider-Man on his little boy's grave because Disney wants to preserve the magic of its characters. Disney, fuck you, with a capital F. Look what they've done to Marvel. Look what they've done to Star Wars. I can sit back and watch a lot of this shit burn to ash and hold a stiff upper lip. But this is utterly disgusting. My God. Marvel fan Oliver Jones, 4 years old, died from a rare genetic disorder last year and was given a Spider-Man themed funeral featuring horses, drawn carriages, decoration, and red and blue balloons. His dad, Lloyd Jones, asked the council for permission to get an etching of Spider-Man on Oliver's gravestone. He wanted the image to remind him of his son. The council officials told Lloyd to contact Walt Disney Company, which owns Marvel franchise. Great. Literally, it's like if Satan held the keys to heaven or something. But Disney refused to give the go-ahead because the company wanted to preserve the innocence and magic around its characters. You liars. Look what you did to Star Wars. Look what you're doing to Marvel now. Dad of 6, Lloyd said, I really wasn't expecting this. It's another massive blow. I felt sure they would allow it. I'm sorry, Lloyd. We live in a day and age where anything good will be perverted and sucked dry for the almighty dollar. And it makes me feel completely sad myself to know this is what Marvel has become. This is what Marvel is now. It is nothing. The thing that gave me hope as a boy, I now know is perverted and evil, is dead. It's gone. Some of the greatest life lessons I ever had came from fictional characters because the real men in my life weren't worth a damn. And this company can't even look at a man whose 4-year-old son died. And the only thing that gave the boy some strength was Spider-Man. And tell him no, he can't have etching on a tomb. Well, fuck you, Disney. I won't buy another thing from you cocksniffers. You hear me, you rat bastards? God, Star Wars and now stuff like this. It's getting so it could make a man weep because he can't crack someone in the skull. Oh, wow. Sadly, these types of stories have to adhere to copyright. And while we understand this is a very emotional time for the family, we have to contact Marvel to ensure the family are complying with the terms and conditions. What a lovely article. God forbid this man might actually put Spider-Man on a child's tombstone. What a criminal. What a horrible human being if he didn't follow that. Look how much protection soulless corporations have, but the average person can't goddamn get. This disgusts me. I've never been more disgusted in my life. And I know this is not something Stan Lee would have stood for if he was alive. This isn't what Stan Lee made Spider-Man about. You bastards. Disney's worse than EA. Disney is soulless. They don't care about anything. The only thing they care about is their intellectual properties, pandering and trying to make as most money as they can. I've seen some people sit there and say he should just put the Spider-Man thing on the grave and then let Disney sue him because it would be a PR nightmare. On one hand, I can see the thought process. But on the other, man, if he does this, they could really fuck his life. And he's already going through hell. You know, the guy's already going through hell. There's nothing good left in the world.